G'day, how you going? Ianapolis here, your acrylic guru. Welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you just what brushes to use to get believable clouds in acrylic. So that's what this video is all about. We're going to paint clouds that look believable, and I'm going to show you the brushes, the best brushes you can use for your acrylic mediums to get these clouds to look this way. Here's the size of my canvas I'm using, and I will also get some colours going up the screen. So stick around to the end and soak up the knowledge you're about to witness, all right? Let's go. So I've already got a prime canvas sheet that I've cut off the roll. It's a Frederick's canvas, and I'm going to prep this to get our clouds in acrylic. And this video is all about how to get it happening that way, what you need to use. And like I said, the best brushes to get acrylic clouds, believe it or not, are these types right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got my putter on a brush, a couple of blending brushes, and a brush to stamp the footprint of the cloud on. I prefer to use a fan brush. You can use a filbert, whatever, or even your finger. But this is what I use, and this video will demonstrate how these are going to work. So back up here, we've got our canvas cut off the roll. Nothing's done to it. It's primed from the factory. So what do we do to get our acrylic clouds on there? We're going to prep it first. So I've got some soft acrylic paint here. It's craft paint. I call it craft paint. It's just like a student quality paint. It's artist quality. It's very soft bodied, okay? I use that because it's soft bodied, it's not thick, and I'll put some retarder with that. The retarder is going to delay the drying time of acrylics. Then I simply get my putter on a brush. I'm moistening it into the retarder first, so it's not going to be dry when it hits the paint. And now I want to start mixing the paint into the retarder there. And this is going to condition our canvas to have a white wet surface, so we put some real colours on there, because we want clouds that when people look at them in your painting, you can practice this method and they're going to look believable. That's what it's all about, because when we first start, it's hard to get believable looking clouds, isn't it? Now I'm just going to paint the whole canvas with this retarded craft white, soft body white, student paint, poster paint, wherever you are, there's so many different names for it. I do have people asking, where can I buy craft paint? I just call it that, or craft white. Okay, now that's all on there. It's uneven, it's thick. It's important to put it on with this putter on a brush. See how it got it in there? It's in all the teeth of that canvas. I'm using the very sides of those hairs, and it's pushed on there. See what I'm doing? Now I come to the tip of the brush. This is where everything happens. See, it's all thick and running, and then you just simply massage it, and you're evening it out into a thin film on top of your canvas. Now that's it. I'm going to the tip of the brush again, and if anything, I'm wiping bits off and thinning it down and making it an even surface of that white acrylic retarded paint. You don't want it too thick. Now I've just wiped that brush because I don't need to wash it, because all that colour's still on the canvas, so I just wiped it. I've got 3 other colours here now, the actual sky colours, to give it the believability of these 2 colours here. I'm using cerulean blue. I've got a mid-tone grey out of the tube. Mix up a grey if you don't have a tube of grey. And I've got some permanent alizarin. So first I want to pick up the cerulean blue on my brush, and we'll get the sky colour in there. Now the sky is important to have that a believable colour as well. And in getting that, we're going to start at the top, push it on. Now see that white paint? If I painted that without the white on there, it'll be a lot darker. It's making it a believable blue sky colour. Start at the top, and then I want to bring it down, because as I come to wherever my horizon line is, I'm going to have a low horizon here, because this is all about the sky, about there. So I'm going straight across left and right. Now look over here, there's some empty spots. Don't be shy to just get them in there. You're pushing the paint around. Get rid of that heavier band so it's down in there a bit more like that. Don't be shy to do this. You can do it. And knowing what to do and practicing it, you can absolutely do it. Okay, now we'll start again. And then we're going from the top and we're bringing it down to the horizon. And if anything, the lower half of this sky is lighter value than the top half. That's what you want, because that gives you, I've said it many times, that sphere shaped like it's coming, the blue's coming over your head. Now I've cleaned the brush. Next part of the sky, I'm going to pick up the grey, the mid-tone grey, and this goes right at the horizon line. Put a little bit of this in there, just a little bit, just to warm it up. There we go. It's not pure grey. I'm just adding little bits because this will dry darker. Now this is simply the horizon line, straight across the horizon line. Come across the horizon just like so. Push it on there. You're getting the colour there. Now I'm coming to the tip of this brush because this is all about the brushes and how they work. And this brush is going to gradiate that grey into our blues. Now I don't know if you notice it or not, but if you look at the sky in the evening time, certain parts of the day, you see this band of haze in the bottom of your sky. And that's it. It can just, using the, see this brush, there's no paint on the tip, it's all been pushed up the hairs. And that's why there's nothing, no grey going up here. If I tilted the brush that way, I'd put a big chunk of grey there. I don't want that. I just want that haze right at the bottom of our sky. Now, I'm just simply going to go to the good quality titanium white. It's a bit more thicker structured than that softer bodied craft paint that I call there. Okay, so I use this for the actual stamping of the clouds. And the clouds are done in a 3 stamping process. What I mean by that is, I use this to paint the shape of the cloud on there, do the blending, then I put another colour in there, blend it in, and then the final colour. So there's 3 steps. Now, I like to use my fan brush, like I said before, so I'm going to get this on both sides of the fan brush and then stamp in a cloud. So along the horizon, we see how you got the grey and the grey. I want to put the distant far away ones in the sky first. So you stamp them on anyway, pretty much at the top of this grey, not right at the very top, but down a bit, so you got something to come up and something to blend down. That's what's going on in my mind. So we'll do a couple of stamp it on, and I'll start to give it some body. These pretty much go all the way along the horizon line, something like that. I can turn the brush around and add some more paint on there. I'll get this pretty much all the way along there. Stop. Now, grab one of my blending brushes. I'm going to use this smaller 1.5 inch, and you always need a kitchen cloth, okay, to wipe off the build-up as you blend. And then you've got this cloud. We want to start from about this area here in the cloud and come down. I'll start over here. And this is going to mix with that grey underneath. Now, I've only done a little bit, but look what's on my brush. There's quite a bit on there. I hope the camera's picking that up. So you wipe that, because if you're keeping that on your brush, you're just moving it around and you're keeping it as one thick blob. You got to get value, dull and brighter values within it, and wiping the build-up off helps that happen. Okay, so I'm going to control the bottom first, picking up some of that thicker stuff. Bang, look, there's a big chunk of it there. These are all the little minute things you need to know just to make your art believable. And this is all about clouds. We all know how difficult clouds can be. Such a little simple thing in a painting, but my goodness, the trouble they've caused us. And I like to give them a bit of a drag. That's just something I like to do, like that. Just see how this paint underneath has allowed that to happen. Now, obviously that does look a bit dumb, so I'm going to keep shaping this cloud, pulling it down into that grey permanent alizarin in colour, just like that. Tapping, I'm not just doing this, I'm tapping, coming up there. Look at it, look at it, look what you're doing. This bit here is still looking a little bit, so I'm going to just distort that drag line a bit. There we go. Now see the tops of that? I like to tickle them. I call it tickling the tops. I get the very corner of my blending brush, because you can see just the actual brush marks, and you want it to look like believable clouds. So I'm just very gently tickling the tops of that. Wipe my brush. tickling the tops. You can get these brushes from me, just message me on Facebook, the link's in the description below, and I'll send you some out. Okay, we've got the one section of our cloud there, but this is the horizon clouds. I can put another one over here. So to put another one over there, I might start off the painting. And because these are, I don't know what they're called, I'm just calling them horizon clouds. I keep them low and long. And I'll try and get this one in front of that. But if not, I'll show you what we can do there. Because you could see this haze colour here, it's adding real values in our sky. Grab your blending brush again, and simply the same procedure. I'm blending, pulling it down into that hazy colour, wiping the brush as I go. It's very important. Now you don't want to dance like this over the whole cloud. Don't do that, okay? You mush it up too much. You need to start tap, and then you're getting some turmoil and twist, those drag marks. That's what creates the luster and the realism within a cloud, the believable look of a cloud in a painting. It's a lot better than just stamping, stamping and stamping. You do it, I call it turmoil. You would have heard me use the word turmoil in videos before. Now I'm just tickling the tops of that. This video is all about how you can get believable clouds. Clouds are no same shape, so don't worry about trying to get them the same all the time. Just use the same procedure and they'll just happen. Grab some of this grey with the permanent alizarin in there. Just a little bit. This main cloud, I might just put a bit more in here, like that. So I'm dancing across the bottom of it and slowly fingering up within the cloud body there. Come down into here a bit more. So see what I've done? Practice this procedure. Just every procedure is a practicing stage if you want to master what you're trying to achieve when you know you have trouble. I'll do the same in there as well, just getting some of those values back in there. Blending brush, you're just going to soften that into the top half, soften it. See, everything's still wet from that retarder and craft paint. It's allowed everything to stay wet. If that wasn't on the canvas, this would not be possible with acrylic paints. Knowing the science of different paints and how they work is going to help you in your art journey immensely. Okay, now we'll just finish these bottom ones off. You can see how that colour that I just put on there has kind of put a, from the cloud looking like this, a bottom on there. I'm just grabbing simple white again, and I want to just put something, let's say from about here, nice long. That tinted colour that I put there, I want to leave some of that in between this cloud and the one that I've already put on. But try and get that, I don't know, that cloud shape you're going. Look how easy this is to stamp it. You might have seen people just going willy-nilly, but this is controlling the believability within your clouds when you know what to do. Look, we're just going to put something about here. See, I controlled how much thickness and blobs and ooh-lahs or painter in there, you know what I mean? There's that one there, and I don't know, just for the sake of it, we might put something just lineal and long right along here like that. And maybe just here. Right? Grabbing your blending brush, just the bottom of those clouds, just grasp the bottom of them with your blending brush. Pull, turmoil, twist, and it's blending with that grey, hazy colour. I'm tapping it, twisting it, adding turmoil. Because I stamped it on there in a controlled way, I'm not having trouble blending it. See the different things you can pick up. You might not realise, oh, I didn't know you had to do that, but it's knowing it. When you know these things, and the more you do your art, the more you'll pick up what's going to work for you as well. tickle the tops a little bit, but they're not too bad because I controlled the way I stamped it on there. And then down here, it's already mixing with that grey hazy colour that I've put in the sky, so it's created a bit of realistic depth at the bottom of this sky. Now this is just the bottom horizon type of clouds I normally like to do in my skies. We're going to go for some overhead ones to make these look like they're coming right over our head. So we'll leave it like that. And now we'll get some straight over our head. Okay, we'll start from about here. Make the shape you want. Now, I'm going to do that V, scattered V shape. I've said it before where it looks like they're coming over your face, your head like this. So I pretty much get a base of something out here, creating the base, whatever sort of body you're giving it, and then it's going to gradually just V-shape spider way over our heads like this. A big blob there. Just something like that. Break it up. Grabbing your blending brush. Now you can see the difference from the bottom clouds to the top clouds. Now watch what this brush does. I'm going to go to the very bottom edge. The bums is what's important for these ones over your head. They have bums on them. These ones down here, the bums have been horizon lined away. They're down in the horizon. So you pretty much work out roughly where you want a bit of a bum. I'm just roughly doing it, just showing you for the sake of it. But now I want to blend the tops of these. So I'm twisting turmoil. See the windows of blue in there? As I'm blending it, I want to be able to have brighter whites and bits of blue within that blended mix of white cloud. If you do it all at one value, you're going to lose that believable cloud look. And because I've brushed it on like that, I'm blending like that as well. Blending out, boom. I'm blending up and finishing it off the way I stamped it on. So, you know, they're not just everywhere. You can have fun with clouds when you learn, just paint and blend any old way, but as you progress through your art journey, you want to evolve. You don't want to be doing the same kind of thing year after year. You need to evolve to enjoy your art. And you can look back at your journey of art just by looking at your paintings. So if anything, with this procedure, what I'm doing now is, if anything, the bottoms are tight, but the top half, see like here, it just gets wished away into the sky, coming over our head. And you can just do so many layers of these type of clouds. Now this one here, the bottom, keep it level with the horizon line, and then constantly wipe your brush. That's important. I've got a hair there. I'll pick him off later. I'll show you what you do when you get a stupid hair trying to annoy you. Let's get this cloud pushed right up into the sky. Come right up here. You might not see any paint coming off, but it's creating the behaviour. Okay. Now with a hair like that, just simply grab a pointy knife. Okay. Don't worry if you scratch your paint. Get it off there. See, I've scratched the living buggery out of that cloud deliberately, because you can come back to the corner of your brush, everything's still wetting, and that's it, it's done, no hassle. And now I just want to paint something here, so we'll come along. This is like this sort of cloud. He's going to be a big one coming off the painting. And now I'm just going to flip-flop. The same thing I've done here. I want some blue windows within the cloud body. You can look at clouds and study them and work out what you feel you would like to do. You can even go to the corner of this brush and make them pillowy like that. But I'm just kind of going like this. Come down there a bit. I don't want it too cone shaped. Sometimes you can get caught doing too much of an even pattern. There's that cloud. Same thing again. Blend, turmoil, whisper the tops away. That bottom's a bit, there we go. Because at the moment, this cloud that I'm putting on now is flat. It's going to look flat on our sky, and we've got to make it start looking believable. And how we do that, using these brushes to blend it the way I do, getting turmoil, and then adding the other two colours. So now if you look at this cloud, you might not have noticed it in previous videos, but that cloud is brighter white. You can see bits of blue coming through it. You need that. And like I said, it looks flat. We're going to make it look pillowy and lovely. Just grabbing the grey and some of the permanent alizarin within there. Like I said, don't get it too reddish. This is going to be the weather. I call it the weather within the cloud. So they're not just white. And we've pretty much come along the bottom of our cloud like this, coming up, coming along the bottom, coming up, and finger into the cloud. Like you're bringing fingers of this colour within the cloud body there. I'll do some over here. Look at clouds and work out what part of your cloud you can put these bits of grey in. And maybe, I don't know, let's just try a pocket there somewhere, just like that. Grabbing your blending brush. Now you want to keep that colour there, but you want to sit all those hard edges down. So we'll come along the bottom first, keeping that flat, and then softening those edges down. So you can still see the white, you can see this colour that you've just put on there, and over here. So this is the second stage of our cloud colour, to give it that believable look. Twist it around, twist it around. Don't kill any bits that you love within there. You have the right to love bits that you've put in there and keep them there. I'm just getting that a bit more flatter at the bottom. And just this bigger body here, we'll put that weathered colour in there. Just very minimal. So I want to come, I don't know, around the bottom here, trace some of it up there, and maybe a little bit in there. Sit it down, get rid of those hard edges of that colour, leaving the white still there in the cloud body. There we go, that's that one done. I've wiped it. And sit this down as well in there. The rest of the clouds are too small to contain any weather. Now we've done that, I'm going to go back to my fan brush, pick up the pure white, and this is where we create, as a lot of people know what I call it, the yumminess. This gives it the final look, to give it that 3D look. So we'll start over here. We're going to get bits of white, put them within your cloud, come past some of that grey a bit, bring this section over here. You're just adding yumminess within that body of cloud. I call it yumminess. It's just because it turns your cloud from that and it just makes it look a bit more yummy. Now there you go, you've done that. It looks a bit, but though I want to sit that yumminess down, leaving the vibrancy of it there, okay, but try and blend it in a way so it's creating those pillowy sections within your cloud. Sitting that down, don't think about it too much, just go with the flow. You need to practice. Join some of them up. You don't want them just like dotty bits of yumminess. Sometimes you might have to smear like that and really create the luster in your cloud. There's so many thousands of types of clouds. I've got so many videos on my channel here, so many different array of cloud formations that I've done. And we've created some yumminess. I would like a little bit coming from the bottom just to give that, I'll show you what I mean. Just so it doesn't look too two-dimensional down there, hopefully. And you can see from this cloud how that's now got more pulse, life within it. Same with this one, a little bit of yumminess in here where you might feel. Don't overdo it, don't overdo it. It's so easy to overdo stuff. Get this. Now, like I said, if you want these brushes that I use, just simply message me on Facebook or if you find brushes that are going to work for you, but these are the best brushes to do the clouds in acrylic, I feel. Now, I also want to show you one other thing. Sometimes, I've done it quite often, but I've let it go, but I'll show you in this tutorial. Everything's in cahoots with the horizon line, but see this one? If anything, it looks a bit crooked to me. So to fix that up, I'm just simply going to put another little cloud right in front of it. Just something there to break that up. But this cloud needs a bum on it as well because it's in that part of the sky. So we'll go like that in front of it, and I'm just simply going to blend that and do what I do. Hopefully that's kind of masked that distorted visual that I had going on in this painting here. Obviously a bit of this colour just to help with it, because it looks like there's some rain wanting to come down maybe. You've got that in there, we've done it. See this cloud, it's back to front. This one and that one. This one, we're going to bring over that now, just so it's not going to look back to front. There we go. I'm trying to get that little bit in cahoots with the horizon line there, because I feel it just didn't look the part. See, when they're over your head, the closest ones are in front of the furthest ones, obviously. And then a little bit of yumminess just to fix that. This is just fixing the mistake in that one, I feel. Hopefully it fixed it. The final thing you can do to get realistic clouds, a lot of us do forget, are the high cirrus. Look at your sky. I call them gap fillers. They're pretty much just, oh, we'll go this way, little swerves like this and ticks like that. That's all they are. They're pretty much the most smallest cloud, but you can use pretty much your biggest blending brush. You leave no edge on those. You simply blend them away into your sky. My sky's starting to dry now because I've taken so long to demonstrate, but normally it would have been a lot wetter. If you're at home not demonstrating to everybody, you're just painting for yourself. And these are just those high cirrus clouds whispering around in the sky. Twist them around, distort them. Something like that. If you feel there's a bit too much uniform, break it up a bit. All right. And then we've got a little bit of a gap down here. We could probably just put something there like so. So we'll quickly get these. This part's a little bit wetter still. And you just, these are the cirrus clouds. And they're good for gap fillers. You might have a big area of the sky and you don't want to go to the trouble putting too much detailed clouds there. So you just put these cirrus clouds in there. And if you look at your sky, you'll see these type of clouds doing their thing. See, I've just washed that down into the sky colour there. And it's a very busy sky, I know, but it's a tutorial showing you the best brushes you can get to create believable looking clouds. Just these blending brushes that I use, and the putter on a brush, which is one of these. You get a 2" and a 1.5" inch, and you get this fella here. I'm just going to finish that off with a putter on a brush and some more cerulean blue, just to go at the bottom of the painting, just so it doesn't look half done. I might be able to use it for some other demonstration down the track. So let's just say this is water for the tutorial. So you start at the bottom nice and thick, and then you come up to your horizon line. It slowly comes lighter. And then this brush on its edge, we'll just come across there, we'll make some kind of horizon line. And you'll be able to see how that polluted haze in the horizon how it's sitting along, let's just say this is the ocean, way out there. You can just see how it's behaving with the painting. I'm going to get a bit of this, just to make that lighter out there. If I can, yeah, there we go. I've just put a bit more craft paint into it. I'll get a bit of blue, because you need this darker. You need the bottom of your water darker. And why do you need it darker? For those who don't know, I'll tell you. Let me get this across first. Okay, in general, when it's a lot darker, it makes the water look like that, going that way. I'm just grabbing a bit of that alizarin crimson just to show you. Get right across here, because this will make it darker, and then I'll just let this wear up to the top, and this is really creating that vibe that I've just explained to you. Okay, so these brushes are the best brushes in my opinion, and you can make up your own decision from this tutorial if they're the best brushes for you to create clouds that look believable. My fan brush, put her on a brush, and a couple of blending brushes. They're not a tiny blending brush, but you can still get some small clouds with them. This one's well used, but they're not that expensive, so you can buy yourself several pairs if you like. Yeah, and sometimes they'll spay out like that, whatever. Don't worry about that, because all you do is say, get back in line, you fellas, and then I've done that quite a few times, and they go back. They're quite hardy. And this is the sky, a believable sky you can achieve from them with a lot of practice if you haven't had much time in painting, okay? And I know you can do it. Well, I had a lot of fun doing that. I hope you enjoyed the show. Tell your friends if you like what you saw, but if you didn't, you tell everybody. Check out this other video of mine. Goodbye, good luck, and good on you.